This video is brought to you by Battle Tested Film Gear for all your tips, tricks, tutorials, and tools. Check us out, battletestedfilmgear.com. Okay, recording. Okay guys, so really quick, we just want to kind of show you what we've been doing here, our setup. Haven't done an event in a long time, so back when I was doing a lot of events, it was all SD, so things have changed quite a bit for the better. One of the biggest problems that we've had is trying to record the presentations from people's PowerPoints, and so, yeah.
Do I have a Mac? Do I have to bring an adapter?
Somebody has one, unless I'm guessing it's a newer one, so it's like a Thunderbolt.
Little one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if you don't have one, I think Darren has one or knows someone who has one.
Okay.
And then I'll come up and I'll plug in my little screen capture program.
Okay.
And you'll be good.
Perfect.
Cool. All right, still rolling? Perfect. Okay, great. So anyway, long story short, it's always, you go off of the laptops, it could be a Mac or PC, and we've run into problems with that, I'll tell you that in a second. You go VGA out of the lecture and into the projector and or a splitter, and then you come out, and what we're doing is we're splitting the signal out of a VGA, which is analog, oh, it's actually over here, coming into this little hammerhead guy that takes it, goes analog, converts to digital to HDMI, and then we're sending it to an HDMI wireless transmitter. And we're going all the way back to the back of the room where we are. So let's walk back there. This is our little home for right now. So we're going into our HDMI receiver, which then plugs into this cool Elgato Capture HD, which is a little H.264 encoder, and it just goes into our little game software. I don't have it open right now, or do I? I don't. And it'll capture 720p or 1080p files, so you can just record the presentations. In theory, it works really well, and it usually works. The problem is all the new Macs will not project or will not output a 720p or a 1080p. It's always some weird resolutions, which is very frustrating because I only tested it on my old Mac. On all the PCs, you have to jump up there and make sure that their PowerPoints and stuff are all are outputting the projector to 720p, which half the time doesn't work because for right now, this is an international thing. So we have people who have Japanese, Spanish, so half the time we're under the gun trying to get the computers to do it. Sometimes Windows 8 doesn't cooperate. So the backup plan to that is we're getting all the PowerPoints that we're going to have to put in post, which is going to be a pain in the butt, but luckily not my problem because we'll have an editor do that. And then for our setup here, it's a hodgepodge, it's a slew of things. I brought a whole number of cameras because I didn't know exactly. Like I said, I used to do this all the time. Haven't done it in years. And all my cameras have changed. So it used to be all tape-based. They could run for hours. They all had AC power, all that stuff. Whereas most of my cameras now are all cinema-based cameras, or DSLRs or something. So there's a myriad number of options we could have gone with. But today, or the last 2 days, what we're doing is I've been running a wide camera, what is it called now anymore? HV30. It's the Canon HV30. It's the Vixia Canon HV30. I have an HV20. Where is it? It's over here somewhere. So if you remember these little cameras at all, these are awesome little cameras. They looked great. They're still, little, what is it, 3rd-inch CCD. Oh no, these are CMOS sensors. These are the first CMOS cameras that I had. Anyway, I used to have like 3 of these, and we'd go wide, middle, something else. And these are all tape-based, so I'm running mini DV, and I'm running this one as a wide just to kind of have something to cut to and to reference the PowerPoint when we can't actually capture the PowerPoint to see what we're actually getting. So this is traditional, just run it through the tape, swap it out really quick when your tape runs out, it's powered off the wall, set it, forget it kind of thing. For the tight shot, running the GH3 for a couple reasons. First off, because it looks good. Secondly, it's got the longest lens that I have here right now besides the other tape-based cameras. And it does. It looks obviously way better than the small cameras, the small tape-based cameras. The downsides are it doesn't have an AC wall adapter. I could have gotten one, but it doesn't. but the batteries last like 3 hours. So I've been swapping every time we had a break, which has been totally fine. The cards, I'll run 64 gig cards through it, and it'll get me 2.5 hours of record time on just a 30p, not the intro frame. I'm all the way on the 140 end of my focal length on this lens. It's the Lumix 14 to 140. The aperture is closed down, but stuff like this, you're not too worried about. The lighting in this room isn't too bad for a lecture, actually, which is nice. So those are the two camera systems we've been running, and then we're going sound off of their soundboard back in the back of the room. We're coming off a wireless mic into the little Tascam recorder, so that we have the entire thing recorded, whether it's video or still slides or whatever. We have a solid sound base that we can keep moving forward. And that also is actually being, so that's wireless, so there you go, there's our wireless pack. But I'm also coming into the GH3 with the sound kind of as a backup. So the GH3 has a mic pack coming off the back of the room, and the Tascam has a mic pack. So there's never going to be a question if we have something covered. If for some reason all the cameras died, I could still run the audio and put up a slide of whatever they're talking about for a couple seconds before we kind of got the video back. So that's really it. Oh, the GH3, again, the reason why I'm doing that instead of more tape cameras is because it looks nicer, but it'll record for long periods of time. It's not going to stop after 10 minutes. I could be running the GH2. I have a wall power for that, but the GH2 won't record 30p at 1080. It only records at 720, at 60. So I don't want to run 24 frames a second because it's not a cinematic thing. This is just documentary, kind of just live event stuff. Obviously, running the 7D, you're looking at 7D right now. We have the 7D on a monopod with a light. We're running around getting interviews for people. Trying to think if there's any other notes. It's all just going to drop into a timeline. We'll just do a multi-clip sequence between. I'll have to capture all these kind of old school. We'll probably use the HDMI capture device just to run all these tapes through it, because I don't know how the machine has FireWire anymore. So anyway, there you go. That's the fun, exciting last 2 days we've been doing this conference for kind of a friend, doing it for a buddy. So anyway, always bring too much stuff. That's the rule. Always bring too much stuff. That way you're covered. Because we also have, we have all these options. We have these little guys. And this camera actually would do better than the tape-based camera. It's kind of the next generation, but the problem with it is that I do have a wall power for it, which is nice, but to get to the SD card, you'd have to take it off the tripod every single time. So again, going back to the tape, well, I can access everything while it's on the sticks. Don't have to I can swap that out in mid-presentation without worrying about it. With this, I'd take a big ordeal to take it off, pull the tripod, pull the plate off, put the card in, pull the card out, whatever. And then we've been swapping, or every time I swap the card out of the GH3, I'll put it on the computer and I'll copy the media off. So anyway, there you go. That's how we're doing it. So DSLR, because it's a hybrid, it's not as what everyone's used to with the Canons. There's no record times restrictions, and there's the lens is long enough that I can reach all the way across the room. The focus is a little issue. You got to make sure that you can work with the focus, because on these cinematic lenses with the larger sensors, you can't just set it and forget it like the smaller cameras where most of the world is in focus all the time. So there you go. I keep saying that's it. So that's it. Let's go get food now. I'm hungry.